Hi guys, my name is Laura and welcome back to another video. Today we're carrying on talking about the uncertain times in our lives and how to cope with the unknown and what to do when we don't know what to do, when the things around us are changing all the time. And if I would ask you a question, what things in your life are uncertain? You might say it's my future, it's school, it's what college to go to, what university to go to, what job to go for. There's so many questions all the time in our heads, and there's so many things in our future that we're not certain about. And as you know, in the last couple of months, we've been living in the times that have been very uncertain. And often what happens in those times, we feel so overwhelmed with things changing all the time, with not knowing what's going to happen around the corner. We often lose sight of God and we forget who God is, and He's promised us that He's going to lead us through those difficult times. And often we can put God in the back seat instead of putting Him in the driver's seat and trusting that He's going to lead us in the right direction. And there is a man in the Bible called David, and he was someone who went through uncertain times in his life. And let me tell you what happened. So David was a king and he ruled over Israel for 40 years. Before he was a king, he was just an ordinary shepherd who was looking after his sheep. And when David was a child, he defeated a giant called Goliath, and he did that using only one stone. He also fought lions and bears. He was a very strong and impressive man. And when people heard about what David did, they were so impressed. He literally became famous. People kept talking about him all the time. And at that time, there was a king called Saul. And when Saul heard about what David did, he was so impressed that he offered him a job in his kingdom. So now David, from being a shepherd, he was working for the king, which was amazing. It was a massive thing for David. And David worked so hard. He really wanted to prove himself. He worked 100% and more. And the King Saul was so impressed with David that he offered him even a better job. So he was now looking after a group of soldiers. And over the time, King Saul got really jealous of David because people liked him so much. People kept praising David. They loved him. He got so furious that one day he decided that he's going to ask his army to go after David and kill him. So now David was for a run for his life. From being somebody he was an amazing man and loved by people around him, now he was chased and wanted dead. Just imagine how David must have felt. David was so confused. He didn't know where to go and what to do. All of a sudden, nothing in his life was certain anymore. So many things have changed. And I wonder, have you ever felt like David in your life? Have you ever had those moments in your life when you just don't know what to do, or when the things around you are changing completely? But there was one thing that kept David going. He knew who God was. He knew who his God was. And in the Bible, David was called a man after God's own heart. It's because he had a close relationship with Jesus. He knew who Jesus was. And he knew in the midst of the difficult times, God was his refuge and his rock. And in the Bible, we can read in Psalms chapter 46, verse 1, God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. And that was the one thing that David was holding on to. And also in Hebrews chapter 13:8, it says, God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And David knew even if his situation had changed, God didn't change. He still stayed the same. So David almost put God in that driver's seat, and he allowed God to lead him through those difficult times. And I wonder what situations you are facing right now that you really need God in your life. And maybe for you, you can just take some time and go outside for a nice walk and just listen to your favorite worship album, or just pick up a Bible or pray. But just fill yourself with God's word and remember that no matter what you face in your life, God doesn't change. And how amazing it is that we have God and we can cling on to Him. So I really want to encourage you this week and next couple of months, just remember that just because your situations and circumstances are changing doesn't mean that God is changing. And we have also created a couple of questions for you and activities and a kind of prayer thing for you to do at the back of this video to explore this theme further. Thank you so much again for watching this video. We really hope it's been encouraging for you. Bye!